Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel for this episode 19 here on Bloomfield with me, Farmer Murphy. Well, I just got off the phone with Neil, and he wants us to head up to his place. He needs a hand today, so we'll do that. Still can't get over that open house that Ben had. That was pretty impressive. Now, Neil did say that his crops were not ready to be harvested yet, but he does have a bunch of grass work that he needs done. He'd like a hand with. So he just asked us to stop in at the house and he'll let us know exactly what we're going to be up to there. Looks like a nice day here to be doing grass work. Good weather forecast, just mostly sunny day here on Bloomfield. Now, Neil also said that we could get our chickens from him anytime. So if we have time, wouldn't mind getting that done today as well. What is that I see sitting there? Well, I know Neil was at Ben's open house, but is he jumping ship? Did he buy a class? No. Well, we'll have to find out what that's about. So I'll head on into the house and find out what our marching orders are, and I'll find out what the story is on that class. So I'll catch up with you in a couple minutes. Well, Neil wants us to move our truck because he wants to, once he's done mowing the grass, be able to get out of here. So the deal with the class is actually Ben brought it down for Neil to use, kind of like a demonstrator. So he has it on loan for a few days just to give it a try. And he actually wants us to take it and run to the shop and pick up a windrower. He is planning on expanding his sheep operation and putting sheep for wool here on the right. And he's decided that he's going to focus on hay rather than just straight baling grass. You can see Neil ahead of us there working away. So he's got a bale storage place, and I screwed up when I put it in here. I didn't realize it was going to the footprint extend out in the field, so we lost a little wheat there, but that's okay because this end of the field is going to be turned into yard anyway. Anyways, what he wants us to do is take the class, and he said might as well use Ben's diesel and come back and TED this. You can see he's finishing on the mowing over there. Just come down the hill here a little bit, you'll be able to see. There he is working away. When he gets that done, he's got to sell his eggs, and he's got some things to do in town. And then he wants us to bale up the hay. And here in this field, the straw is still laying from the harvest he did. He wants us to bale that, pick it up, and deliver that to Sims. So that's what we're up to. So those are our marching orders. But thought we might as well just use the truck since we had to move it anyway, because Neil needs to be able to get to his truck. So we'll head up, jump in the class, head to the shop, and pick up that tedder. I guess we might as well ted the grass first, and then we can hook onto the baler and bale everything up at the same times. Kind of makes sense. Yeah, he said he's going to put in a fairly large sheep pen over here, and but these sheep he's going to use for wool. So, and he didn't really want to do silage with his excess, and hay, I guess, stores better than grass, and it's more easier to sell. Let's put it that way, than straight grass bales. So, but what he wanted was a windrower that didn't, you know, maintained his windrow that he has from his swather. Yeah, this is pretty nice. You know, I think this is the tractor we saw sitting in the yard that looked like it had a little use, was a little bit dirty. Not a lot of use, so only 4 hours on the clock. And it is a pretty nice looking unit inside and out, I have to say. But not nice enough to convince Neil to move away from Massey Ferguson, though. That's what he told me. He said they're not bad tractors, but not a Massey. Anyways, I will head down to Neil's new shop, and I'll meet you there. Well, things do look a little different down here, all right. Still a fair amount of equipment here, but I can see some of the things that were sitting in the shop are now out here in the yard. Still an impressive array. Anyways, I better head into the office and find out where this windrower is, so I'll catch up with you in just a minute. Well, Ben said it's actually inside the shop, and that he opened the door for us. It's the small bay door here on this side. Oh yeah, I see it's got that open. There it is sitting there. Oh, and we can see his shop is now empty. Looks like most of that equipment that was in here is no longer here. So probably was corporate stuff. I can't imagine he sold all that. Although look, there's more tractors sitting out there. Some of those were probably inside. Just gonna close this door for him. There we go. All right, well, we'll head up to Neil's, and I think we'll start doing some tedding. Check out how this ted works. So, see you then. Well, Neil's got that grass mowed already. I noticed his truck was gone, so he's already headed off into town. So we might as well get cracking on this windrowing, or windrowing, tedding, I should say. This does make sense because the last time we actually made the hay for Neil, we tedded this out and then we had to windrow it back up again. When it's already in a windrow, it makes sense to leave it that way. So this is a pretty nice piece of gear. Now, Neil did ask us to use this tractor as much as we could, just because he doesn't need to put fuel in it or anything. So Ben brought it down all fully fueled, so yeah, I get that. Save money wherever you can. Pretty much the ideal tractor for a job like this. Because I asked Neil how much horsepower this was. It's apparently a 200 horsepower tractor, this one. According to Neil, it's the most powerful tractor in this line. kind of their, I guess they would consider this their small line. There are versions of it with less horsepower, but none with more. And I can see Neil's point too about making hay, because it makes sense. Hay will you can store it for longer periods, and he's going to need to keep more on hand, because he said he's going to add quite a number of sheep, so he's going to have to keep a fair bit of feed on hand. Hay would store better, and if he's got any extra, of course, I don't think he's ever been able to sell any just straight grass bales. I suppose you could call that green feed, but hay there is a market for. And he doesn't have to, the extra expense of making silage. And you don't have to, like, he can just turn everything to hay, and if he has any extra he can sell it. He doesn't have to decide how much hay to make and how much silage to make, so I can see how it makes sense. Now, we won't be able to bale with this tractor because it doesn't have enough horsepower for that. This is actually about the same horsepower as his new Massey. I think his new Massey is just a tiny bit more. But his baler takes a fair bit of horsepower. We're going to have to use his big tractor for that. We could probably pick the bales up with the bale wagon, though, I would think, with this tractor. I was wondering if we were going to need a front weight, but it seems to be handling it okay without it. Not a bad looking outfit. We could do a little of this in cab, I would think. Should be able to follow down the center of these windrows, I would hope. Apparently, Neil said Ben's planning on shopping this tractor around as, like I said, a demonstrator to a number of local farmers. So doing whatever he can, I assume, to try and sell as much product as he can. He's got a lot, gonna have to sell a lot of tractors to make up the money he put into that dealership, I'm thinking. Well, this is about as exciting as this is going to get, so I'll carry on and bring you back in when we get to do a little baling. So we'll see you in a bit. Well, I've got the tedding all done. Neil wanted to make sure that we got the straw delivered to Sims today, so should have lots of time to get everything done, but it is 11:15, so we'll start down here on the straw and make sure that that gets baled up. Now, we got a telephone call while I was doing that fitting from TFS. Apparently he's doing really well up there in Fort McMurray, but he called to let me know that he had arranged for a few of the pigs to be sold. I have been keeping him abreast of what's been going on in the farm, and we were up to 70 pigs with the new bursts we had. Ooh, just pretend you don't see that. As I was saying, we were up to 70 pigs, and he only normally ran about 30 or so, 40 at the most. I told him there was lots of pig food, but he said some of the oldest ones were, it was time that they moved on in the event. So I told him, well, he could just keep that money, because like I said, we've been doing really well. But he said, no, that wasn't the deal. He put it in the farm account, so there's a little bit more money in that account. He said he was quite happy for us that working with Neil had worked out so well, because we increased the yield, and of course TFS was just selling the raw crops. Neil convinced us to make pig food and sell the pig food, which we did really well on. Now I know this work we're doing down here for Neil right now really isn't precision farming related, but that really wasn't the deal. We were just going to work for him, and he was going to teach us about precision farming, and let us have use of some of the specialty equipment that was required to do it. So, and for me, I'm just happy to do whatever needs to be done. It's not too hard running nice equipment like this. Now, this part of the grass work doesn't involve precision farming, but when it comes to prepping the fields, it certainly does, because you use the data to determine how much lime to put on, and of course you use the crop sensors to control how much fertilizer is applied. But Neil hasn't said anything about me coming and helping him with that. Like, he doesn't normally need a hand. He does this all on his own. He just takes advantage of it, like times like this when he's got other things he could be doing. I carry on with the farm work. Really has been a win-win situation. Boy, this is where the quick bale is really nice. It'd be nice if these base game balers had just a little bit wider pickup sometimes. I know this is a little bit older Massey, but it's still pretty nice. It has no issue pulling this baler at all. Like I said, this baler does take 200 horsepower is what they recommend you use to pull it. So it takes a fairly good sized tractor. Boy, it didn't take long for those weeds to spring up after he harvested this field. Pretty good sound effects on this baler. Sounds just like a baler should. When I know that it's not going to be able to pick the whole thing up, I'm trying to go to one side, so I just have to back up and catch the other side. If you try and go down the middle, then you've got a little piece on each side. So that's what I'm doing there. Because those little leftover pieces, although a farmer wouldn't go back and collect them, I'm sure, it'd drive me crazy. I usually can't leave them. Although this field's not so bad because they're kind of hidden, they don't stick out. Now I know Neil hasn't said anything about us coming down and helping him prep these fields, but he does want us to come down and help him with those other harvests. I know he's hoping to put that sheep pen in this fall, so he's not planning on selling any of this hay right now. He's going to hang on to all of it. He hasn't decided how many sheep he's going to start off with, but so he won't be selling any of this feed. But he doesn't need the straw, so Sims is going to take that. All right. That's all taken care of. So I will go get the bale loading wagon hooked up, and I think what we'll do is we'll take these down to Sims, then we know it's done, and then I'll finish off that baling. So we'll catch up with you in just a minute. Well, we're heading off to pick up those bales. I had to bale up just a little bit of grass so that we could get the last straw bale out. Now, I wasn't actually counting, so hopefully you can get all these bales in one load. Now, I suppose this tractor might be a little bit on the small side for this job. Probably not horsepower-wise, but so much as weight-wise, but straw is fairly light, so I think we can get away with it. What I hope is we can get away with one trip. But if it takes more, it is what it is. Oh, we should be okay, I think. Oh yes, definitely. Well, I think we would have had plenty of time to bale that hay up before we did this, but no harm in making sure it's done. The day does have a way of slipping away on you when you're out working in the field. All right. Well, I'll head down to Sims's yard and we'll catch up with you there. So, see you at Sims's place. Wow, just coming up on Sims's place here. I gave him a call. He's actually not at home, but he said we could drop these kind of in to the north end of the cow shed. He said we'll see some silage bales there. He said just drop it in there any place and he'll look after it. So that's what we'll do. This is such a nice yard. Pretty impressive farm operation, I must say. Oh, looks like Sims has got some grass work to do. Oh yes, I see. He does have quite a bit of silage on hand here. Well, maybe we'll just drop him here. Right, I see there's another rogue set of bales down here. We'll set it down here. Actually don't see many stacking bale trailers like this around this neck of the woods, but you do see a few self-propelled versions. New Holland made a self-propelled version of this. You see a few of them around. Alright, well I'll head back to Neil's place. I'll get after that baling. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, Neil called on the way down here. When he's in town, he's going to pick up some cages that we can haul chickens in. So he's just renting them from Ben. I think this tractor comes with a Bluetooth option. Should have had it connected for all the telephone calls I'm getting. So we're definitely going to be getting our chickens. But I'll go ahead and start working on that hay baling. And when Neil gets there, I guess we'll look after the chickens. So we'll catch up with you in a little bit. Well, it's, 3:30. I've finished the baling, obviously. I've got the baler put away. I'm just working on picking up the hay bales now. There's going to be more than one load down here for sure. And of course these are going into Neil's new bale storage area. Oh, just hang on, there's my phone. Well, that was Neil. He texted me. He's back here at the farm. He's at the chicken pen waiting for me. He wants to get these chickens taken care of. I told him I was just nicely getting started on picking up the bales, but he said just to leave that he would finish that up. He wants to get these chickens taken care of. I wonder if he got a phone call from my wife. That will motivate you to get things done, trust me. Anyways, we'll park up here. It's near the pen. And speaking of Neil, just ignore the money for this little segment here. I actually have to be on Neil's farm to do what I want to do. So just pretend that we're not on his farm. There we go. We'll run up here to the chicken pen, meet Neil. Oh, there we go. There's the cages. grab one of these, and we will take, what have we got here? 18-month old should do nicely. Select that, and we'll take, I think this only holds 8 in these pens. So put 8 in that one. There we go. Oh, maybe I need to do it. Why can't that? Why is it not coming up now? Give me a break. Oh, it's too far forward, I guess. So that was, yeah, 18 months. We'll take another 8 of those. That's 16. Whoops. Give him a little bit of a ride there. Now in this one, we'll put 4 and 1 rooster. All right. So that's what he agreed on with my wife as part of the payment for our work down here. So I will get these loaded up in our truck, and we'll haul them to our farm. So, oh, oh, guess I'm trying to drive from the back seat. I have to get back on our farm. Anyways, I'll get this schmozzle organized, and I'll meet you back at our place with our chickens. Well, we're back up at our place with our chickens, so let's get them put in our coop here. There's 4 in this crate. And 1 rooster. Last but not least. Okay, there we go. Chickens are in the pen. That will make the wife happy. All right. Neil said he'd have an auger set up on his wheat bin, and we can go ahead and grab a few thousand liters of wheat to throw in our chickens. That was part of the deal as well. But before I can do that, I need to get the sides on the trailer. And our John Deere is a little slow going down the road, so what I'll do is I'll meet you at Neil's place, and we'll get some wheat for our chickens. So see you there. Well, here we are down at Neil's, and I have just over 3,000 liters in our trailer. Now, this was not the way I had planned on doing this. I actually drove up into the yard, but twice I recorded it, pulled up under the auger, and it would not stop. It just kept running until the trailer was full. I practiced off camera once, stopped perfectly, so I gave up. I came in, so this is the second time off camera time that I did it that it stopped, but I don't know why when I was recording. Absolutely no way would the auger stop. Start is fine, just fill her right to the top every time. So I give up. Anyway, Murphy's Law for you there. Don't know what the heck was going on. I'm going to take this to our chicken coop and we'll pour it in there. Oops, truck was already running. But this episode is already fairly long, I believe. So I think I'll leave you there. So if you're still with me, really appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, I encourage you to hit that like and subscribe button. Don't forget about that old notification bell if you want to see when other content like this lands. But from here on Bloomfield, for this episode, Farmer Murphy signing out. Oh, of course. What a perfect way to end. Take care, guys. See you next time.